All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, forever and ever, so let it be true. Love, honor, and respect to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and to His Holy Son, Yahweh Shai, who died for the 12 tribes of Israel, and double honors to the apostles of GMS, the four major prophets, the minor prophets, and the hopeful elect, the 144,000 brothers, the Akim, the saints, who are preaching the word of God to the four corners of this earth, risking their lives day in and day out. And shalom to the brothers and sisters and children who are watching and learning the truth. So we're on another lesson. Today is, I believe it's the 17th of December, Saturday. And a lot of things have been going on. But I'm going to stay with, we're on the verge of nuclear war, nuclear exchange between the United States and Russia. So in today's, the last couple days, last 48 hours, the United States to deploy more infantry, soldiers, troops to Estonia to boost NATO defenses. Baltic country strengthens defenses on NATO's eastern flank. So you have Finland, Estonia, and Latvia. We're sending troops in there. This is on the sneak because you don't see it on our news. ABC, CBS, they're keeping it quiet. Like I said, just like how they're passing, how the president bypasses Congress and your senators, and we're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine every month. And you're going to pay for those billions and billions. Right now, they said they need about 1.5 trillion to rebuild it. But there's no stopping to this war. This war is going to continue. It's going to end up being in the trillions of dollars, and you're going to pay for it. And like I said, Ukraine has nothing to do with the United States or NATO. They're not part of NATO. Like I said, we're the instigators of this war since 2014, 16? With the proxy wars, all right? Like I said, this is all big money. It's all about, with the international bankers, they control your Congress, they control your Senate, and your president is nothing but a puppet, all the way back to George Washington. These Amalek, Edomite Jews who ruled the banking world, all right? They pulled the strings. So they're sending all these soldiers to they're sending them to Romania. We have soldiers in Germany, Poland, and now the Baltic states. Okay, we're sending troops into Finland because we're ready to face off with Russia. Okay, so I'm going to continue here. Belarus, north of Ukraine. So Belarus is on the northern part of Ukraine. Okay? Belarus moves thousands of soldiers and equipment up to the border with Ukraine, about to invade. Okay? They're joining into this war. That's why it's called World War III. Because the whole world is going to pick sides with Russia or with the West. Okay? And NATO, which is the old Roman Empire. Okay? That's the beast. And America is that whore who sits on the beast. Okay? Russia massing over 200,000 soldiers to surround the city of Kyiv that's in Ukraine. Alright? Over 200,000 soldiers. Vladimir Putin and Russia, they're not done with Ukraine. Ukraine is the battlefield. That's why it's been getting hit with missiles every day. It's being destroyed because Russia will never let the U.S. and NATO, the European Union, what we call Europe, Rome, that Roman Empire, they're not going to let them take Ukraine. Okay, that used to be a part of the Soviet Union. It's all-out war, all right? They're not done with Ukraine. They're not done with that city. They're going to take that city, all right? And the reports have come, over 100,000 Ukrainians have been killed. the Russians are destroying the Ukrainian army. And like I said, we have our special forces there, and NATO has their special forces. We've been killing Russians. The reports that I've gotten, it's up to 140 to 160, even up to 200,000 Ukrainians have died, and tens of thousands wounded. It's getting close to 80 to 100,000 Russian soldiers are being killed, and we're behind that. We're sending all those missiles down there, those tank killers. We're shooting their planes, their helicopters. We're sending all the ammo. We're sending all the tanks up in there, short-range missiles to killing Russians. We've been killing Russians since 2014 in the proxy war. All right, so this war is escalating onto a whole new level. But within the last 48 hours, we're on the, like I said, we're on the brink of nuclear exchange. So they're going to take out Kyiv. Like I said, they have over 1 million soldiers. In January through March, they're going to get another 4 to 6 million soldiers. Russia, the draft is on over there. Russia is massing the 200,000. They're going to go in there and they're going to destroy the rest of the Ukrainians. There's not much men left. That's why the United States and NATO is going to jump into this, because Russia has killed over 100,000 of them, wounded tens of thousands. Poland is mobilizing for war. They're mobilizing their soldiers. Like I said, this is going to turn into a world war. Poland is with NATO, and we have U.S. soldiers in Poland with the Polish soldiers, and they're about to get in. Like I said, Ukrainian soldiers are being wiped out. So you got to put fresh boots on the ground. Serbia seeks NATO's permission to return troops to Kosovo. Serbs being threatened. Kosovo Albanian separatist ethnic cleansing. That's, like I said, that ethnic cleansing. There's a lot of hate going on around the world. So you have different groups of people, different religions, and they're going to start taking each other out. Like I said, this is World War III, and it's gonna get crazy out here. And there's reports out there in the Middle East. There's a lot of exchange going on with Israel, the United States, and you have Iraq and Afghanistan, and then where's I'm trying to think here. It's brewing out there in
Syria?
Yeah, there you go, Syria. We're so blanked out. Syria. There's exchange going on. That they're keeping that on the down low. I'll bring out more information tomorrow on that. But the United States has been attacking, and Russia backs up Syria. Okay, and it's exchanging back and forth there. So that's about to flare up to an all-out war in the Middle East, and Russia is right there with Syria to destroy the U.S. bases. So like I said, it's going to pop off in Persia, which is the ancient Persia is Iran. They're going to be in the thick of things. It's going to get heated up. Like I said, this whole United States, when this engulfs the whole United States economy, it's already in the gutter now. It's going to be finished when this war escalates with U.S. soldiers. The latest news, they have a bunch of sub-hunters off of Florida and Washington, D.C. looking for Russian nuclear subs. All right, like I said, it's going on a whole new level, and all you dummies are shopping at the malls buying junk for Christmas. All right, for these holidays, these pagan holidays that you dummies worship. You're just buying junk and getting yourself in more debt. And like I said, you don't pay your bills, you're going to get picked up. They're going to have the goon squads going house to house. The people that you owe money, you're going to go to jail. Your family's going to go to jail, and they're going to put you in concentration camps. I already warned you people. A new wave of Russian missile attacks hit the capital of Kyiv and all throughout the country of Ukraine Friday morning. They're throwing hundreds of missiles on the city of Kyiv and other parts of Ukraine. Like I said, they're knocking out all the power out down there. They're going to make sure before they send those 200,000 troops, they're going to try to freeze them guys to death and the civilians. Like I said, we're in a world war right here. All right, it's on. Like I said, Russia's not going to let the United States and NATO take Ukraine. They're at the border. Multiple U.S. emergency alerts, nuclear attack options sent out in the last 24 hours. Dozens of emergency alerts. What that is, they're codes. And one of the videos I'll bring it out, and it'll say like Omaha. It'll say it's codes for our subs in case there's an exchange. Our submarines around the United States and our missile silos, they're going to get these alerts, and it's where they're directing them where to send the missiles and who to hit, who to strike. And these emergency alerts is at an all-time high. That means when everything power grid goes out, that's going to be a time that's coming where everything's going to be knocked out. They have missiles that can go into space and knock out all the satellites. That's where you're not going to have no running water, no electricity. But these alerts are for the U.S. Navy, United States Air Force, and it's directing our missile bases and our nuclear subs where to strike at that certain time, because things are moving so fast. So like I said, this has been happening for the last 60, 90 days, but it's escalating onto a whole new level. That's how close we are at nuclear exchange. We're sending Patriots, our missile defense system. It's called the MIM-104 Patriot. It's a surface-to-air missiles called SAM. And why do they call it SAM? It's after the prophet Samuel. So we have missiles that are named SAM and high rifles, sniper rifles called SAM. Look it up. And it's after the prophet Samuel. Because Samuel, the prophet, he was the prophet that seeked and found David when he was a boy. During that time, we had King Saul, but it's perfect balance. The King Saul didn't listen to orders from the Heavenly Father. So the Heavenly Father would give orders to the prophet. So God would not speak to the king. He would speak to a prophet, then the prophet to the king. And King Saul was a man that didn't listen to orders. So the Most High, knocked him down. And that's when the prophet Samuel went and he found young David out there with the sheep, because he's the real shepherd, who was our real true first king of Israel. So like even the U.S. government names these missiles because it means power. All right, so it's called SAM, the SAM system. U.S. planning to send the Patriot SAM air defense missiles to Ukraine. Okay, now that's going to escalate. That's why Russia, Vladimir Putin, is threatening consequences if Ukraine receives these U.S. Patriot missile system. So this system, this Patriot surface-to-air missiles, when they set that up in Ukraine, they're going to be able to shoot all these short-range missiles that go into Ukraine. This is how far this is how far it's going now. We're sending all these missiles, short-range missiles, right at the border of Russia, with only a few hundred miles to Moscow, St. Petersburg. All right? Just think about it. If Russia starts sending missiles in Canada, facing Buffalo, New York City, Boston. See, this is what you're not getting. It's not penetrating through your brain, through your skull. It's going to escalate. You're going to lose your homes. You're going to lose everything in your bank. It's an all-out war now, and we're sending them in there. Biden already approved it. He's not running the show. The Rothschilds are running the show. They own America. Okay? They want the whole world in their hands, and they want Russia. There's a lot of resources in Ukraine and Russia, so Russia needs to be taken out. They have the bullseye on Moscow. Okay, they want to remove Vladimir Putin, and he's a man of war. He's not gonna let these guys do to him what they did to Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein and his sons when they hanged him over there in Iraq. All right, do a little bit of your history, and you'll know what's going on. All right, but most of you are in the dark. You're out of your mind, listening to Christmas music, driving around like a bunch of space cadets. All right, so this is once they start sending those air defense missiles into Ukraine, they're going to be able to shoot down planes, shoot those missiles. They're going to be, it's on. There's nothing you can do. That's why I'm going to get right into the scriptures. I'm on the holy book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 16, where the Most High says, "Behold, I have created the blacksmith who blows the coals in the fire, who brings forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the spoiler to destroy." This is missiles. The Most High showed these bums, these scientists, these German scientists, how to create missiles. And then Russia jumped onto it. All right? These are God's missiles, which in the Bible they're called arrows. And the Most High's arrows do not miss. He controls the missiles of the United States, the missiles of Russia, China, and Persia, because they're making their nuclear arrow missiles pointing right at the United States. All right, it's all, but the Most High controls it all, and that's why He says right here, "Behold, I have created the blacksmith who blows the coals in the fire, who brings forth an instrument of his work, and I have created the spoiler to destroy." To destroy what? The U.S. American cities. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, New Orleans. That's in Revelation 18 and 10. All right? I'm going to go in and find some more scriptures here. Go to Psalm 64. Psalm 64. Let's start with verse 7. "But God Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded." And these are the arrows, the missiles that the Most High has Russia pointing right at America, at the UN, at the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty. His arrows will not miss. There's going to be an exchange, and it's going to be called a nuclear winter. It's coming, and I believe I can feel it. There are a few cities are going to be hit very soon. All right. Let me go to Jeremiah 55 and 11. Oh, 51. Excuse me, Jeremiah chapter 51, and we'll start with, let's go back to verse 9. No, let's go to verse 10. Okay, we could go to verse 9. Jeremiah 51, verse 9. "And we would have healed Babylon," which is talking about America, "but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone to his own country, for her judgment reaches to the heavens. Her judgment reaches to heaven and is lifted up to the skies." You're in the holy book. You're called the hypocritical country. This is the land of lies and deceit. You have shed innocent blood throughout the centuries. "For her judgment reaches to heaven and is lifted up to the skies. And the Lord Yahweh has revealed our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Make the arrows bright." Remember, I was just talking about the arrows? And that's the spoiler. Those are those missiles, thermonuclear missiles that the Most High controls. And trust me, it's in the holy book. There will be a nuclear exchange of thousands of missiles. Make the arrows bright. Gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. Who are the ancient Medes and Persians? That's the Iranians today. But it's talking about Russia. Because outside of Iran is Russia. They're the power. They're the nuclear power of the world. They put all their money into their weapons of war. Where the United States, we put money into building stadiums, the Las Vegas Raiders, the New York Giants. You're all about entertainment. Because the international bankers have to keep you entertained. Because you're a bunch of dummies, a bunch of spoiled, rotten brats. All right? And he says right here, the Lord has raised up the spirit of the king of the Medes, which is talking about the Persians and Russia, Vladimir Putin. For his plan is against Babylon to destroy it. That's the Most High's plans. This place has to be purged because it is the vengeance of the Lord God Yahweh, the vengeance for his temple. Set up the standard and on the walls of Babylon. And what he means by the vengeance of his temple, it's talking about his people, the apostles and the prophets, and the 144,000 in the great multitude of brothers and sisters, because we're not in the Holy Land no more. You have a bunch of imposters living there, all the natural Gentiles that live there, and they're defiling our land. And we're here in slavery here in America, so he's going to bring vengeance upon America, and soon the whore is going to wage war against the apostles and the prophets. All right, it's all coming down to the wire, because it is the vengeance of the Lord God Yahweh, the vengeance for his temple. Set up the standard on the walls of Babylon. Make the guard strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes, because he's setting up Russia, North Korea, Persia, the whole Middle East. They're going to ambush your 101st Airborne, your 82nd Airborne. All your Army and Marines are going to be ambushed. It's throughout the holy book of Jeremiah, Joel, Isaiah. They're going to ambush and they're going to sever. They're going to destroy the armies of America and NATO. He says, make the guard strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. For the Lord God Yahweh has both devised and done what he spoke against the inhabitants of Babylon. O you who dwell by many waters, abundant in treasures, all the treasures of gold and silver and rubies and diamonds. This is the rich country that went around the world and destroyed nations for their assets. Your end has come, the measure of your covetousness. The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, surely I will fill you with men as with locusts, and they shall lift up a shout against you. And he's going to set millions of men to destroy the army and the Marines and your Air Force and Navy and NATO. France and Germany and Austria and Spain and Portugal and Greece and England. All right, so that's a beautiful scripture there. Let me go to Mark 13. Let's see, Mark 13. Let's go to verse 25. The holy book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 25. But in those days after the tribulation, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give her light. That's when those missiles, those arrows hit earth and all the dust particles go up. It's going to make the sun look like black cloth, sackcloth over the sun. Because all those, it's going to be called black rain. Black rain, when it rains, it's going to be like mud coming down. And he said, in those days after the tribulations, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. And the moon will be red. That's in the holy book of Joel. It'll look like blood. All right? During the day, it's going to look just like nighttime. This is when all you people are going to be losing it. You're losing it now. This is on a whole new level when nuclear exchange happens. And the stars of heaven will fall, and the powers of heaven will be shaken. And those are the missiles, those arrows. People are going to be outside, maybe driving around. Some people are going to be barbecuing. You're going to see missiles coming down like stars, coming down to Earth, going over New York City, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. You're going to see missiles. They're going to look like fallen stars when you see a fallen star fall down, but you're going to see hundreds. In some areas, you're going to see thousands just falling onto the United States. All right? Go to Revelations 18 and 10. Just read that whole chapter 18. That's the future of America. There is no future here. You bums. You're a bunch of bums. You guys think you own houses, you own land. You're always talking about your businesses. You're filled with pride and arrogance. It's all going to be destroyed. The Most High is bringing everything down. The Holy Book, chapter 18 verse 10. We'll start with 9. And the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived luxurious with her will weep and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning. This is when those missiles start hitting the United States and all that smoke goes up. It's going to be live on CNN, live on Fox and world news around the world in Europe and Russia. It's going to be live. They're going to have the cameras seeing these places get nuked to kingdom come. And the nations will weep and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning, standing at a distance for fear of her torment, saying, Atlas, Atlas, that great city Babylon, which is talking about New York City, the United Nations, but it's talking about the whole country of the United States, the city of wickedness, the land, your politicians, your senators, a bunch of hypocrites. Now your judgment has come. Weep and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning, standing afar, fear of her torment, saying, Atlas, Atlas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come. It's only going to take 60 minutes for over 7,000 thermonuclear missiles and warheads to land on this place and destroy everything here. We're going to go into the Holy Book of Zechariah and we'll finish it off. The Holy Book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague which the Lord God Yahweh will strike all the people who fought against the holy city of Jerusalem. Who's the holy city of Jerusalem? The people, the apostles, the prophets, the servants, 144,000, and the great multitude of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? We're no longer in that land, so Israel's going to be nuked to kingdom come and America. 2 places need to be purged before we go back to home. Jerusalem and all of Israel needs to be purged. All right? And he says, and the Lord shall be and this shall be the plague which the Lord God, that plague of those nuclear missiles, who fought against Jerusalem, against the apostles and the prophets, because we're bringing out the truth out here. And the great prostitute, America, is going to wage war against us. And she's going to slaughter thousands of the 144,000. That's in the Holy Book of Revelation, chapter 17. And their flesh shall dissolve while they stand at their feet. Their eyes shall dissolve in their sockets, and their tongue shall dissolve in their mouths. That's a beautiful scripture, because when those missiles come, the heat of a thermonuclear missile, the flesh will just come off the bones. The flesh is going to be like wax hitting the ground before your bones hit the ground. Their eye sockets are just going to pop right out of your head. People will be outside looking at those missiles, those falling, they'll look like falling stars, but when they hit the earth, you're going to see a bright light, and that's when your eyes are just going to pop right out of your head. This is going to be worse than the hydrogen bomb that landed in Japan. This is the Holy Book. This is the book that's alive forever and ever. All right? Everything you need to know about what's going to happen to America and Europe and the world, We're going into a thermonuclear exchange. All you brothers and sisters were edified with this lesson. Meditate on those scriptures. Repent. Ask for forgiveness and get right with the Creator. Because real soon you're about to meet your Maker. All praises to the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles of GMS. And all you brothers and sisters, don't let this devil take your dignity. Keep on fighting to the end of time. So let it be true. The water.